Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back if you're new here. Hi, I'm Rhoda. Thanks for being here. I put this beautiful everyday look together today. It's an everyday look for me. I've been doing this steady for the past week or so, and I wanted to take you through how to achieve this look. It's so simple, so easy, using some products that I have picked up recently and some really brand new products as well. So let's get into how to achieve this look. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to add is this City Lips Lip Plumper. I already have a little bit on, but I want to add just a little bit more. They did reach out to me, ask me if I wanted them to send me some of their products to try out, which I appreciate so much. And this lip plumper, you might know that I'm not crazy about the very, very burny type of lip plumpers. This one is a clear one, and I don't feel that pepperiness, that burning sensation, but it does a nice job of moisturizing my lips while at the same time kind of plumping them up, but not in a crazy, crazy way. So it kind of just fills in the lines, and I'm really, really liking it. I've only been using it over the past week or so, but so far so good. So I've been just applying it before I do the rest of my makeup, and then by the time I do my lips, this is all said and done. I'll take it off and I'll add whatever lip I'm doing. And then sometimes I'll even add this on top, but it's already done its job by the time I get to my lips. So it feels very, very comfortable, and it's very, very nourishing feeling. And I've really been liking this a lot. Then I'll move on to priming. I'm using the Benefit POREfessional just in this area right here. And this makeup look I have been doing on the regular for the past, I would say, week or so since I've discovered a lot of these products. Some of them are new, some of them are not, but I've really been loving it just for its simplicity and how beautiful it looks without looking overdone. And for the rest of my face, I'm taking my Tom Ford Soft Matte Traceless Primer, and I put it on the rest of my face. I'm using this today because I am thinking about adding the Charlotte Tilbury stick, the new one, to this look. Sometimes I have added it, sometimes I have not, but I'm going to see what I'm looking like, whether or not I'm going to add it to this look. I probably will, just to show you the difference that it might make, but it's not the only foundation I'll be using for this look. Next, I move on to brows, and I have been using the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat. This is a brow product that I used for years, then I discovered others. I've blown through them. I've blown through my Patrick Ta Major Brow and also my Dior Brow Show or Brow Styler. They're in a pile of empties that I'm planning on doing a video for. But in the meantime, I thought I'd use up what I already have before I go and repurchase. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to repurchase. So we will see. But I have been enjoying this, and I have rediscovered it because, like I said, I used to use it all of the time. And this is in dark brown. And actually, I had a refill. This is refillable. You don't have to buy the entire component. You can buy the refills and just tuck it in there, and it's much more affordable to buy, obviously, the refill than the entire thing. So I happened to find a refill that I had. I didn't even remember that I had one because I went through this one too, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do now? And I found my refill and put it in there, and I have rediscovered this, and I have been really, really liking it. So I'm just going to fill in my brows a little bit. And once I've filled in, just brush through, make sure everything looks okay. And now I'll go in with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is almost done, and I did want to finish it up just to set everything I've done on my brow. This is a tried and true brow gel. It really is. And even though I've tried some other ones that I do really, really like the Rare Beauty and also the Anastasia Beverly Hills, not in the pot, but in the wand, I really, really like those too. But I love this one as well. It is a wonderful, wonderful brow gel. It will keep your brows in place, but it doesn't leave them crunchy, and there's not that little shiny coating that's left behind, and that's why I really like it. It's quite natural, but effective for sure. All right, I'm going to tackle these under eyes next, and I'm going in first with the Jones Road, the Neutralizer pencil. This is in light peach, and I think I've mentioned this on my channel before. I really like it because it adds such a very thin layer of correction, and you can go over it with your concealer, and you don't have a buildup of product making it all bunch up and look crepey and kind of gross under your eyes. So I really, really like it. It's smooth, it doesn't drag, and I really have been loving using this on a daily basis. I do correct in this inner part where I have a lot of darkness as well. I'll go over that with my concealer as well, but I do find that I personally in those areas need a lot of color correction. So I just tap it on with my finger. Like I said, it's a pencil, but it's creamy, but not too creamy. So you can move it around and spread it around so that it looks very, very even. So I'm not sure if you guys can see. So do you see this ridge right here that I have? I will then go in, concentrate in this area to brighten it up. Just because I don't want too much product, but I want to mask that darkness that's under my eyes. And if you have been watching me for a little while, then you will know that that is my biggest problem that I have to tackle on a daily basis. And I find that this is really effective and quick and easy. All right, so that is done. And really, if you were to be in front of me right now, you would never, ever, ever, ever know that I had any product under my eyes. It really, truly is a wonderful, wonderful color corrector. Next, I have been going in with a recent discovery, and I have not been able to stop using this Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex, Lift and whatever, her concealer that she just launched. I use shade 6, and I have been loving it. I'm just going to add a little bit in the inner corner, a little bit over here, lift a little bit there, and of course on my eyelids, because I want to brighten up that area. Angie Hot and Flashy A506 to spread this out. And I find that this concealer is very thin so that it doesn't look like too much, but it is very, very effective in covering up what you want covered. And it looks just so natural. It's so very long lasting. I find that there's very, very minimal creasing with this concealer, and I have been very much enjoying using it. And I've been using it daily, which is why it's in this video. My issue with my eye is still there, so if you see any crepiness in this particular area right here, it is not the concealer, it is my skin. And I don't know what the heck. I think I have to go see a derm because nothing I have done or tried to do, I thought it looked like it was going away there for a second, and then it just reappeared. So I'm not sure what's going on. So could it be just, you know, a random wrinkle spot that just has decided to move in and just be a permanent fixture on my face? I'm not sure. Hope not. I hope it's something that I can take care of, but it has been months. It has been months. So now I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. So I'm going to have to really, really look into it. And the great thing about this concealer as well is that you really don't need a lot of product. It's very, very thin, but a little bit goes a very, very long way. It's actually just, I'm so very impressed with this concealer. And because this is such a natural everyday look, having the least amount of product on really, really helps and goes a long way. And so that's another reason I've been loving this concealer. So the order in which I apply my foundation and my concealer, sometimes I will start with my foundation, other times I will start with my concealer. And this is what I found. When I start with my concealer, I get it to where I really need it to be. And I find I use less foundation, knowing exactly where I need to kind of stop with the foundation. When I go in with foundation first, it's not bad at all. It's just I've noticed that when I do go in with foundation first, I might get it up a little bit higher, right? And then I'll go in with my concealer, and then it's concealer on top of foundation. And sometimes it can just look a little bit heavier. It's not bad. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm finding that order kind of has been working better for me lately. I'm finding once I do my concealer, I really just need to focus right here. And that way I minimize the amount of product that I put on my face, which translates to an even more natural look. Even though all the products we're using today are very, very natural looking and are beautiful, even if you did it in the reverse, if that's what you prefer, you'd still get the same kind of look. But that's what I have been noticing lately. And I just been starting with my eyes and then going in with my foundation. Okay, so I am going to use the Charlotte Tilbury. I've been using these in combination. Sometimes I'll use this, sometimes I won't, depending on how glowy I want to look that day. But for ease of use, I use the FENTY Eaze Drop foundation stick and sometimes the Charlotte Tilbury in combination. I'm going to use them in combination today so you can see how I use them together. So in the FENTY stick, I use shade 4. I concentrate that in the center of my face and on my nose. I look really red today, don't I? I think I do. Is it my eyes? I have to go get my eyes checked because honestly, they're getting worse. They're getting worse, and I promise I'm going to get contacts so I don't have to put my glasses on when I'm reading product stuff off to you. Get my forehead as well. This is so easy to use, so natural looking, so beautiful, amazing cover. Medium, light to medium, more on the medium side, I would say. Did I say shade 4 is what I use? And I love it. I love it. I picked up the new Refer synthetic brush. It's a synthetic foundation brush called B04, and I really have been loving it. So I just use this to quickly spread the Fenty in this area. As you can see, it spreads really, really quickly. You cannot over apply this stick. I mean, you can keep applying it and it doesn't look like you're building up product on your face. It's just, it's beautiful. I love it. I will go in with a little bit more concealer in these areas where I tend to get a little bit more red, but I'll do that afterwards. I don't add it before. I'll just go in after and touch up in areas that I need. And now I'm going to go into the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless something stick, her foundation stick that everyone's losing their mind over because some people love it, some people hate it. And I add it to the perimeters and the high points of my face and even over here a little bit. A very, very thin layer, and it adds the most beautiful lit from within glow to your face. I've talked about this foundation at length, okay? At length. I don't want to keep repeating myself. It is not the Hollywood Flawless filter. It is just a beautiful, beautiful, glowy glow. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's lightweight. It's a light coverage, but I don't need that much over here. That's why I use those two in combination. I use the Charlotte Tilbury on its own too. Don't get me wrong. I will use it all over the face. Maybe avoid these areas right here, or I'll have to powder a lot there just so that there's not a ton of shine in that area. So don't get me wrong. I do love it on its own too, but I have been recently using them in combination, and I think it's a match made in heaven because I love the way that my complexion looks. It looks evened out with some shine, glow, natural glow, and it's beautiful. This is the point where I'll go back in with my Danessa Myricks concealer and just get into these areas right here where I tend to have a little bit more redness, a little bit of darkness, and just give myself a little lift. So just right on top and not a lot of product at all. Did we watch the Love Island finale? We all know I am a fan of the show. Ariana's outfit, like incredible. Incredible. My goodness. Anyway, this is my favorite Love Island season, USA, I should say. I think it's season 6. of all. I loved it so, so much. And I'm so happy with the winners. I will not spoil it for you. I'm actually really, really happy about it. And it was all perfect. It was all perfect. I loved it. Okay, now it's time to powder the face because I'm going in with powders for the rest of the look. This is the new RMS Hydra powder. I've really been enjoying it, and I use the shade medium. Lift up this protective cap and I just tap out a little bit of the powder. Then I grab my Hourglass dual-ended brush. I have no idea what the number is, but they only have one of these. And I'm going to start with the under eyes. So I'm just going to tap in just a little bit. And then I'm going to disperse it because I don't want too much powder on my face, on my under eyes. I just need a dusting of this powder. And it really does a fantastic job of mattifying the areas that you need mattified and set. The great thing about this powder is that when I use it over the Charlotte Tilbury, it doesn't bring the glow down. The glow still shines from within in an even more natural kind of way. So I really have been loving this a lot. Dust away any excess. I'm going to get my lids too, even though we're going to go in with a liquid eyeshadow. It doesn't matter because I've tried it both ways, with powder or without powder, and it doesn't matter. So I would rather powder my eyelids, set everything down. Then I'm going to flip the brush over and go onto the fluffier side and do the rest of my face. Let's quickly dust that on. Like I said, not a lot. I just don't want too much reflective shine. The shine you're seeing right now is from my lights. Apparently, sometimes my videos look darker than usual, and I do not know why. I'm trying to figure out because I'm not doing anything different in terms of my setup. I don't know. I don't know if it's what I'm using to record on, if it's faulty or whatever, but I'm really sorry. I'm hoping that the lighting today works. Let's hope. See, you can still see that Charlotte shine come through, and I've powdered my face. It's powdered down, so I love it for that too. That's another reason I love it. I had mentioned in my previous couple of videos that I picked up finally the RMS bronzers, and I had picked up the shade Beach Walk Betty, which was a little bit too red on me. I still love it though because it kind of works as a blush and a bronzer for me at the same time, but I did definitely want to try out some more shades. So I picked up Malibu Muse and Tan Lines. So I want to quickly swatch them for you today just so you can see, and I want to swatch my very, very, very favorite bronzer, the Giorgio Armani, that I love so much. So you guys can see the difference real quick, just real quick. This is Beach Walk Betty, the one that I originally purchased. There's Beach Walk Betty, very, very red leaning. This one is Malibu Muse. I'll put it next to Beach Walk Betty. So it's a little bit more golden. And this one is Tan Lines. I know I'm late to the RMS game. I do know that. Here's Tan Lines. So a little bit deeper, okay, but still this one is much warmer than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more golden, but it's not. But I love them all, don't get me wrong, but I do want to put it against my Giorgio Armani that I love so much. So here's the Giorgio Armani. This is much more golden, I would say, than the RMS shades. So that's the Giorgio Armani, very, very close to this one, but again, a little bit more bronze, a little bit more golden. So there is a big difference between them. And so I kind of like that because I love both of the formulas, and therefore I can pick what kind of shade I want to use that day because I can't go wrong with either formula. I love them both very, very much. For this look, I have been using Tan Lines. I really, really like it a lot. And I do have a little bit of color from being by the pool and all that. So this really, really works. I don't know if it might be too dark for me when I'm a little bit more pale. I'll have to see. I'm not sure, but I love these bronzers. They give the most beautiful sheen, so mature skin friendly. They do not emphasize pores. They're wonderful. And I hope I'm just not repeating myself over and over again in my videos. But I never know who's caught them all or who's just now joining in. So I do have to kind of repeat myself when I'm talking about a product. So I hope it's not annoying, but I love this bronzer. I love it. And it's so easy to apply and so natural looking with a gorgeous, gorgeous glow. And you can't go wrong. You slap it on. You can't overdo it. You really can't. Like, I keep on going in, just like with the Giorgio Armani, same idea. And I have been loving it. Oh, I didn't mention this is my Patrick Ta dual-ended brush that I love so, so much. Make sure we're in the hairline here so there's no disconnect. I'm going to put a little bit down here too. And a little across my nose. Okay, so we have our bronze on. We have it on. For blush, I picked up Crystal Slipper and French Rose from RMS. I had Mai Tai. Hang on, let me get it. Here's Mai Tai. And I love them all. But for this look in particular, I've been using Crystal Slipper, which is way up my alley, way up my alley. Let me quickly swatch them for you since we're all here. I mean, why not? Here's Crystal Slipper. Here is French Rose. Rosette? Rose? French Rose? Hang on. French Rosé. French Rosé. Okay, that is much brighter. And here is Mai Tai. So this one, much more of a bronzy effect. This one, I love pink blushes. And this one is a peach. And these are all what I love. I love all of these, depending on my mood. But like I mentioned, I think we're going to go with Crystal Slipper for this look because that's what I've been using. Refer number 5 brush, tapping into Crystal Slipper and just tapping on. And it works so beautifully with tan lines too. They just blend right into each other. You don't know where the bronzer starts and the blush begins. It's gorgeous. So, so pretty and so, so natural. I love a natural look. As much as I love blush, I don't like it to be the prominent feature on my face. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I feel like it doesn't look good on me personally. So now we're adding even more glow and I'm loving it. Loving it. I also put a little bit of blush up here as well and across my nose. I love that look. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. I'm going to go back into tan lines and my refer number 14 brush. And I'm going to just quickly get this on the crease. I am waiting for my Natasha Denona Mini Rose palette to arrive. I think I've mentioned this before in a video. Natasha Denona's delivery time to Canada has severely been lacking. Okay. And I never used to have this experience. It used to be so quick. I don't know if she's changed delivery companies. I don't know how that whole thing works anyway, but honestly, it's annoying. It's annoying. I'm going to Boston next week and I really, really hope that I have it before then so I can get up a review for you, even though it will be late because 1,000 people have done reviews on it already. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm also going to try and film a few videos so that I can put up while I'm away. I was thinking of doing, I know I'm really blending here. I'm really blending here. I don't usually take this long to blend. I'm just talking. And so I just keep on, you know what? Let me move on to the next step and then I'll tell you what I was planning on doing. So you don't think it takes this long to put this on because it literally takes like 2 seconds. I picked up 2 eye lights when I placed my second RMS order. I picked up Moon Dust and Strobe. Let me swatch them really quickly for you. This one is called Moon Dust. gorgeous, gorgeous on the eyes. And this one is Strobe. Those are the two that spoke to me, and those are the two I picked up. I didn't want to pick up all the shades just in case I didn't like the formula. Spoiler alert, I love the formula. I'm not a fan of the packaging. So I don't know if you can see this. I just squeezed out the tiniest bit and it keeps on kind of squirting out, and I'm losing a lot of the product when I really don't need that much. So I love the formula and I love the way it looks on the eyes, but I'm not a fan of this squeezy kind of aluminum tube because a lot of the product just squeezes out and you lose it, and that's not a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to use Moon Dust. That's what I've been using. And actually, I'm going to put some on the back of my hand here. Whatever was squeezed out without me squeezing it, it just kind of popped out. I am going to put some on the back of my hand, put a brush to it, and then apply it to the eyes. This is more than enough product for my eyes. So I'm going to kind of drag it from that big blotch that I have there and just kind of spread it on my Refer 28 brush. And I'm going to apply it. I'm going to start in the center of the eye. How gorgeous is that? My goodness. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. And it doesn't emphasize any wrinkles or anything like that. It just sits smoothly on top of any sort of texture on your eyelids. So girlies who have a little bit of texture on their eyelids, this one's for you if you don't mind the packaging, because I don't like it. I don't have to say what I feel. And from the center, I start moving because I don't want to put too much in one area. So that's why I start in the center and work my way inwards and outwards. And then if I need more, I'll go back in and pick up some more. So as I do this, I'll let you know what's going on. We are going to Boston next week, and I'm wondering if anyone cares for a pack with me, what makeup I pack when I go on vacation. I was thinking about doing something like that for you guys, if that's something that you would like to see, because I'm always interested in that kind of content. I love to see what people pack when they go on vacation, whether it's a road trip, whether it's going to Europe, whether it's, going down on a tropical vacation. I love seeing that kind of content. So I was thinking about putting something like that together for you guys so you can see what I bring with me on vacation. I always get I want to bring everything with me, and that's a problem, okay? It's a really big problem. I don't want to leave any of my babies behind because I love so many things, and I never know what I'm going to want while I'm there, and then I don't have it. Mind you, I could always go pick it up, but that's not the point. The point is, it's really, really hard for me to narrow down what I'm going to bring with me whenever I go on a trip. How gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I know this is like a quick everyday makeup look, and I know this is sparkly, but it's not in your face kind of sparkly. It's beautiful and it's perfect, and I will wear sparkle every day if I could, and I do. Unless I'm feeling like a matte look, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with wearing a sparkle during the day, especially when it's sparkly, but it's subdued and it doesn't emphasize any of the texture. And it's just a little bit of like a glow to your eyes, but you're not in anyone's face, It's so pretty, so pretty. I just want to show you how much product I still have left, and that makes me sad because I'm going to have to wipe this off of my hand now, and it's going in the garbage. So I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So that is a little bit of a faultiness. That is a little bit of like, something that I'll call out about the packaging. That's all. But what's inside? Magical. Love it. Don't mind this. I burnt myself in the oven, and it's still healing. The strobe shade, I've also tried using it together. It also looks very beautiful. I just found that it's easier to use the bronzer in my crease and then add Moon Dust all over the lid, and it's gorgeous. And now we're going to talk about a new eyeliner that I have. I picked up this Hourglass eyeliner. It's a 1.5 millimeter gel liner. I picked up the shade Bronze. It clicks up, and I don't know if you can see how very, very thin this liner is. And I have been loving using it on a daily basis because it just adds a little bit of definition to the eye, but it's not too much. So let's get this on the eye now. I just start at the very corner and just kind of, oh, it broke off. Uh-oh, that didn't happen before. I have to be honest and say that I lost the lid. This might have dried out a little bit. So that's totally my fault because the first time I used it, it was so creamy, but not too creamy where it slips and slides all over the place. So I just start at the corner and flick out and make that little baby wing that you don't know where it starts and where it ends. It's just kind of there, you know? And I love it. It's so thin and natural looking. And then I'll bring it up just a little bit just to make sure it looks seamless, and then connect it back to where I drew that little baby wing. Sorry, does this bother you guys? I don't know. I need to be close because I can't see a thing. And this is a 10 times mirror from hell, you know? And I can see it all, but what I can see, literally there is no texture showing on my eyelid with this eyeshadow. It's gorgeous. And like I said, 10 times mirror, that will show you all of your sins, and I see nothing. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Then I drag this on the upper waterline, if you can stand it. I know some people, you know, it makes their eyes water. Sometimes it makes my eyes water as well. But if I can stand it, I do a little test. And if I can stand it that day, I will just put it on my upper waterline just to define that lash line just a little bit more. And that's it. And I really hope that you can see this on camera. It definitely is very natural. It's not in your face. I could overdo this so that it would show up a lot more for you guys. But trust me when I tell you, you don't want too much. You just want a little bit, just a little bit of a definition on the eyelash, a little smidgy baby wing that is so easy to draw on with this. I mentioned this is a shade Bronze, so it's not very dark. It's very forgiving. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it's not very shimmery. So I love it. And I have been adding it to my lower waterline as well. Sometimes I have a problem with anything sticking to anything on the bottom of my eye, whether it's shadow on my lower lash line or in my waterline. Today isn't a day that this wants to stick, okay? So, but you can definitely do that if you want. So everything is kept for the eyeliner. Everything is kept from the end of my iris. Is that what's called iris? The brown part of my eye. From here, where the white of my eye on the outside begins, towards the outside. Nothing further in, just a little bit of a definition. Okay, make sure I click that lid back on so it doesn't dry out anymore. I'm really sad about that. So make sure that you put your lid back on, because as I've discovered today, it will dry out. It is a gel liner. It's creamy, but it's not too creamy. It's a very nice consistency, but I noticed a difference having the cap off for a day. It did make a difference. And luckily I found the cap and it's back on, and hopefully everything will be okay. But I am planning on picking up more shades in this because I'm really loving the precision that you can have with this pencil, and there's no drag or anything like that. But like I said, not too creamy where it goes all over the place. It stays where you've placed it. So really been loving it. I'm gonna get the black one, and I think there's a navy one too, because I love me a navy pencil. So that's the Hourglass 1.5 millimeter pencil. I don't know if this is new. Is this new? I thought it was new. I'm not sure, but it's great. It's great. Okay, final stretch. I am going to curl my lashes using the rougher eyelash curler. You can skip this step if this is not something that is necessary for you. I don't always use an eyelash curler, but when I have a little bit of time, I will add that extra step because I find it does make a difference. MAC Stack Lash Primer. I've actually really been liking this a lot. And I think I've mentioned before, I do love my Milk Makeup Kush Eyelash Primer. But when it's nearing its end of days, it does clump up a little bit. It does. I haven't found that to happen with this one yet. However, it's much newer than my Milk one. But I love them both. I love them both. Milk will give you a little bit more volume, I would say, but this one is actually really great too. Can't say anything bad about it. When I use a lash primer, I don't put it on both lashes at the same time because you don't want it to dry too much. You don't want it wet, but you don't want it dry. So I'll do one eye at a time when I use a lash primer, which is 100% of the time because I need one. Not everyone does, but I'm gonna go in with the MAC Stack in their brown shade, and this is like one of the best brown shades that I have discovered. It's really great. It's not too brown red. It's not too dark brown. It is closer to a black, closer to a dark brown, but it's not harsh. And so it gives you enough definition on your eyelashes. I would say it's a dark brown, but definitely on the browner side, if that makes sense. You can tell you're not wearing a black mascara, but it's not that reddish brown that you typically will find with brown mascaras. And this is what I have been using for my everyday lately, and I have been loving it. Okay, so that is one coat of the MAC Stack. I love it. I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be back. Okay, so now it's lip time, and I'm gonna take whatever's left of the City Lips plumper off. My lips feel really nice actually, and they're not overly plumpy, but it feels good and it doesn't hurt. So I want to shout that out. And for lips, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of lips. And then you can change it up throughout the day too. Who cares, right? But what I've been using is the Give Beauty Dewy Plump Collagen Lip Plumper, but it's not really that plumpy, and it doesn't hurt at all, in my opinion. And this is in the shade Marigolds, and this is what I have been throwing on. No liner, just this, and adding that peachiness to my face because this is a peachy kind of color. But like I said, you can switch it up day to day depending on how you feel. You can just add a regular gloss, a regular lipstick, do whatever you like. And that is the beauty of makeup, is it not? Just grab a little bit more. I love this because, first of all, it's sticky enough that it doesn't kind of glide away and disappear very quickly. So it is long lasting, and it kind of plumps up your lips to the point where kind of the lines disappear, but it's not one of those formulas that will burn. Kind of like the Lawless Forget the Filler. Those ones, I love those. And these remind me of those a lot. And I just love them. So this just adds a little bit of that pop of color because our eyes are quite neutral, even though they're kind of shiny, you know, the eyelight situation happening. But still, I think it kind of all works together. But with this eye, you could do whatever color you want on your lips, whatever you're feeling that day, whatever tickles your pickles, you know? Love. I do. And that's it. This is my everyday look that I have been doing for the past week or so, and I've really been loving it. It's actually quite quick. It's not very complicated. It's easy to slap on in the morning and still feel a little bit put together, but there is a little bit of an element of, you know, an elevated kind of look here, even though it's an everyday look in my opinion. Please let me know if you do try this look out. I'd love to know. Let me know if these are products that are in your daily rotation as well. I'd love to know that too. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. That would be so amazing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.